Hello, my name is Paul Rashid. Today we're with an amazing artist, Buzz. He's known for such works as Vampirella and JSA. Buzz, athletes are known for getting in the zone. When you approach a piece of work, do you get in a flow state?
Zone, well, anyone that's creative get into a creative zone, whether it be athletes, dancers, singer, chefs, artists, well, there is a, in the beginning, there's so many things that are jumbling around in your head trying to decide what you want to do. And once you focus yourself on a goal and, you take a step toward it, there is a certain kind of a level of comfort and that allows you to draw from, not talent, that you can use to implement to the project that you're.
Are there certain things that will take you out of flow state?
Yes, impromptu interviews, very disruptive, and
Okay. Are there things that maybe put you into the zone faster, maybe music or certain preparation?
Some artists I can work among chaos. That's why I do these conventions, and once I have a focus on what I'm drawing, I can speak to people and handle business and I can even drown out the noises that I don't need. Once you have the focus, it's trying to get the focus among the midst of chaos is what's kind of jarring.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
You've been an artist over 20 years. I know you got into the art industry real early.
Yeah.
Do you approach a piece of work differently now than when you did when you started out?
Yeah, well, because when you're younger and when you're a greenhorn and you have less in your visual library and your skill set, you get nervous, insecurity comes over, and the more seasoned you become and your skill set is more developed, and your visual library is also more, has expanded. It gets a little easier, but it's still challenging because it's the completion of whatever it is the challenge now. Yeah.
And same thing in my work. It just to master a craft. it takes the time to put those in to get that skill set, right?
Oh, of course. Because pimping ain't easy, right? Isn't that what you do? No,
no pimping here.
Okay.
I am curious. What is your creative process? How do you approach a piece of work?
It depends on what I'm going to be illustrating. If it's a person, and if this is like a likeness of someone, of course you get a photo reference, and then you look at the totality, the full image, and then you try to find a kind of an entrance into how to start. If you're drawing a figure, let's say for superheroes or whatever, I like to start with the eyes because it kind of dictates the emotion, and that will, once I get the eyes, the energy that flows from the look in the eye and the expression kind of allow me to create the pose and how to execute it after that. Yeah,
I think it's interesting.
It's like a trigger. Yeah,
being a psychiatrist, you said you focus on the emotion in the face.
Yeah.
So I say I want you to commission a Batman piece or a Superman piece.
Yeah.
How do you pick the expression on the face?
Well, because when you say Batman, the character is moody, he's dark and he's, gritty and, sometimes gruesome. So, you're not going to draw him smiling, playing with kabangas, but so.
So I've noticed you have a beautiful style. I believe you called it brushwork style, and it's pretty unique to you.
No. It's an old school way of inking and illustrating. I use a brush to ink all my lines and all my washes. It's the same brush I use to paint. And it's the medium I like is watercolor, wet on wet. So that's why. But I can do pen and other tools, but I use a brush because it actually stemmed from being lazy, because having a really good brush and a control is like having 50 different pens, and I don't have to get up and change, and
wow. So you have so much control with one instrument.
Yeah.
You can make it look
exactly
so many different ways.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Right.
What's your favorite part of the art process for you?
It's a journey, okay? The beginning, middle, and the end, and you always look toward the end because finishing something is rewarding. Everything else is a struggle. And every piece is challenging, as easy as it may seem. While you're working on it, there are certain familiarities that you repeat because it's almost, an automatic reflex.
Right.
And then there are discoveries that you make along the way. In instances, accidentally you may discover something, an approach or a line, or and that you can absorb and put that into your skill set and become in handy later on. But it's difficult to recapture that every time. So it's kind of challenging and exhilarating in every new piece. What you really want to be, and to be a successful artist, and to continue, don't ever fall in love with your own artwork. No.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, because once you think you've learned enough, that's it. You don't grow anymore.
Exactly.
And then that will also make you full of shit, because I always say my best piece is my next piece.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to be a better artist tomorrow than I am today, because when you get to a certain age, like I'm 47 years old now, and I know that I'm already facing certain physical limitations, and there will be more along the way. So I don't want to wake up a year from now, a day from now, a month from now, an hour from now. Something may happen, and I don't want to look back and realize, well, I haven't done this yet, I haven't done that yet, and I don't want that. So I try to, do everything.
Always strive. And
I
think it was key. The two things that I picked up from what you just said was, it's a journey. You view your artwork process as a journey, just as I view growth and life as a journey, and especially dealing with anxiety and depression and those type of things in my work.
Right.
It is a continual growth process,
right.
and you never stop growing.
Well, not only that, I mean, it's a therapeutic. It's very therapeutic too.
Yeah.
I lose myself and I lose the time when I'm drawing.
Yeah, that's getting in that zone again.
And you can be contemplative while you're working and think about the other things rather than just the art itself. And you work things out. It's almost like if I'm thinking of a problem as I'm drawing, and once the drawing is finished, somehow I may even have an answer for that problem away from the art itself.
That's pretty cool.
Because your mind is more focused. When your mind is focused, you can solve problems better, right? So I'm utilizing the same mindset while I'm creating art at the same time, going over whatever is bothering me in my head. That's why you get into this zone you were talking about. It's very meditative, and it doesn't just help move the art forward, it also helps you with your own whatever else is rattling in your brain.
So you create something beautiful, and then you're also doing something internally.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Cool.
That's why artists are frustrated so much when they can't create art. It actually pours out into the real world, like into their life.
And I guess that would be similar for writers and writer block.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. And the problem they have is that they try to find that in sort of artificial means. That's why we drink, we smoke, anything,
to escape
the truth is whatever is ailing you, what cures it is never really fully in artificial means. It's always inside you. The alcohol may help, help it come to surface, but then that's fleeting, and that's destructive, pretty much.
Lastly, I have been following you on social media, and I know you're somewhat of an advocate for artists.
Right.
Can you just tell us a little bit more about that?
Right. Well, in my line of work, it's a small community. It's comic book work, but I'm old school. I mean, I went through the trenches, and I went through the rigors of, learning how to draw, practicing, and I've been doing this for 30 years. And then there are those who want the instant, achievement of being called an artist by, swiping other people's work or stealing their, someone's hard work.
And that is going on now.
That is going on a lot, and especially in these Comic Cons and comic conventions. People are taking someone else's work, scanning them into Photoshop, putting a filter through it, and then printing it out, and then calling it expressionism or whatever the fuck they call it, and then selling the artwork as originals. And of course, most laymen, I'll even go as far as like blaming the Board of Education and the school system, because they don't have the endowment for the arts anymore. So I remember when I was a kid going to school, every school, intermediate or otherwise, had an art class. You know, that taught you at least like a cursory knowledge of art history.
Right.
So people walk around, they can tell good art from bad art. You know, they don't have to know everything in detail or in depth, but they knew that. They don't now. It's just like, oh, it's got color, it's glittery, and it's shiny. I'll buy it. Not realizing that artwork may not be an original. It may be swiped or stolen from a real artist.
Wow.
So they're supporting thieves, and I really don't like that. I really don't like those people.
So in some way you're thinking maybe one way to combat this in the future might be education?
Yes, education, and also for the artists, the genuine artists who create, to be more vocal, to be more active in
where can someone, if they want to learn more about your work, if they want to commission a beautiful piece of artwork, where can they go?
They can go to my website. It's www.justbuzz.com, JUSTBUZ.com, or you can find me on Facebook. Just type in Just Buzz and I'm there.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.